All right, welcome to the Explainer. So in 2025, technology isn't just, evolving, it's actually creating a massive fracture. The sources we've looked at all point to this clear divide that's opening up, one that's going to totally reinvent business, reality, and even our security. Today, we're going to break down exactly what's happening and help you figure out which side of that divide you're on. This quote from the 2025 Work Trend Index annual report really just nails it. Think about it. This isn't just another software update. This is a fundamental ground-up reset. The sources are all telling us that the changes coming are going to be just as massive, just as disruptive as the dawn of the internet itself. So to really wrap our heads around this revolution, we're going to look at 5 huge tectonic shifts. We'll start with this new frontier we're all facing. Then we'll dive into the AI-powered workplace. After that, we'll explore our new blended reality, confront what we're calling innovation's double-edged sword, and finally talk about the urgent race to adapt. Right, so let's jump in. The big word for 2025, reinvention. Simple as that. Technology is forcing a fundamental split between those who are getting ready for what's coming and those who, well, are probably going to be left behind. First up, the AI workplace. And look, this isn't just about getting some fancy new tools. No, we're talking about a completely new kind of company that's being built to solve what's become a basically impossible problem. So what's this impossible problem I'm talking about? Well, it all starts with this crazy pressure from the top. The demand for more is just relentless. How much pressure? Well, 53%. Over half of all leaders say productivity absolutely has to go up. It's not a nice to have, it's a must. But, and this is a big but, here's the flip side. A staggering 80% of the entire global workforce, and that's everyone from the top down, say they're just tapped out. They don't have the time or the energy to meet the demands they already have, let alone do more. This is what the Work Trend Index calls the capacity gap, this massive, totally unsustainable gulf between what businesses want and what people can actually deliver. So what gives? Out of this huge tension, a new kind of organization is starting to pop up. They call it the frontier firm. These are companies being totally rebuilt around on-demand intelligence, creating these new hybrid human-agent teams and basically turning every employee into an agent boss. And you don't just flip a switch and become one. It happens in about 3 stages. First, you get AI as your own personal assistant, right? It just helps you do your job faster. Then, these AI agents start joining your teams, like actual digital colleagues. And finally, you get to a place where humans are setting the strategy, but AI agents are the ones actually operating entire parts of the business. Okay, so this is super important. We need to be clear on what an agent actually is. This is not, and I repeat, not just a fancier chatbot. An agent is an AI system that can actually reason, plan, and take action all by itself to get complex jobs done. Think of it like a new kind of digital labor, with a human still in charge, of course. This new digital workforce, it doesn't just stay in the office. It's actually changing how we see the world itself. Which brings us to our next big shift, blended reality. Because guess what? The metaverse is here. It just looks nothing like what we were promised in all those sci-fi movies. Yeah, the Future Today strategy group, I think they put it perfectly. You can forget about those clunky headsets and weird virtual worlds. The real metaverse is this invisible digital layer that's already blending into our physical world all around us. So you see, the whole conversation has completely flipped. The old idea of the metaverse was this kind of niche, geeky fantasy. The new reality is way more practical, way more integrated. It's built on really useful stuff like augmented reality and, this is the big one, industrial digital twins. So what does that actually look like? Well, think about this. Companies are building these incredibly detailed virtual copies of literally everything. We're talking jet engines, offshore oil rigs, even a person's heart. These digital twins pull in data in real time, letting engineers spot a problem and fix it before it becomes a disaster. Now, all this innovation, it's incredible, right? It sounds amazing. But like with any powerful new tech, there's a flip side. Every new tool is also a potential weapon, and this new era is bringing some serious, brand new risks with it. I mean, on one side, the potential is just, it's mind-blowing. We're making real progress on manufacturing things in space that you could never make on Earth. We're talking space-based solar power, AI-driven medical miracles, the upside is just enormous. But then, there's the other side of the sword. The very same AI that's powering all this incredible progress, it's also being turned into a weapon. And it's creating security threats that are changing way faster than we can keep up. So you're probably thinking, okay, but we're ready for this, right? Well, get this, 90%, 90. That's the percentage of companies that are not ready to defend against these new AI-powered attacks. That is a massive, massive gap. And the threat itself has changed. It's autonomous now. We're seeing these AI worms, like one called Morris 2, that can copy and spread all on their own by hiding inside text and image files. It can basically trick other AI systems into stealing data or spreading viruses. And the wild part is, no one has to click on anything. It just does it on its own. Okay, so we've got this double-edged sword, right? Unbelievable promise on one side and some really scary risks on the other. So what do we do? The answer from all the sources is pretty clear. We are in a race to adapt, and we have to start running like yesterday. And really, it all boils down to one single critical question that every leader, every employee, frankly, every single one of us has to ask ourselves. And it's not just about what new software to buy. It's about fundamentally reinventing how we think about security, about our jobs, and about innovation itself. Luckily, we're not totally in the dark. The Accenture report lays out a pretty clear roadmap to get reinvention ready. It's all about 4 key things. First, you've got to build a risk framework that can actually keep up. Second, you have to build security in from the very beginning. Third, you have to constantly monitor for new threats. And finally, you need a response plan that's actually built for these new kinds of AI attacks. At the end of the day, this whole 2025 tech revolution, it's a race. The question isn't if AI is going to change things. I mean, look around, it already is. The real question is how fast are you willing to move with it? Because the winners in this new world will be the ones who see adaptation not just as a choice, but as the only way to survive. So the real question is, how will you adapt?